Welcome to the Spirit-Centered Business Podcast, where we blend the spiritual with the practical for supernatural results. Now, here is your host, Bralynn Newby.
Part of my heart, the reason that I do the coaching business is to release the voices that have been held captive by fear and doubt.
That's good.
So many people have messages to get out to the world, and they think, oh, no one's going to listen to what I have to say, or who wants to hear me, or I don't have the credential, I haven't arrived. But oh my gosh, there's so many ways that you can just take inventory of what you do have, the brilliance, the expertise. If you came out of corporate in any kind of way, you have so much more in you that can be shaped into something that can be monetized and bring, even if it's just a revenue stream on the side of your 9-to-5 until you ramp it up and become your business. There's ways that can happen. And this is just one of the amazing things that I love Holy Spirit for is I've been told, and I really feel that I'm anointed when I speak to someone and I can see what that business is supposed to look like. What are the possibilities of that? How could this be a transformational tool? I mostly work with, people who are speakers or coaches or consultants that are creating a wisdom-based business out of their brilliance, whatever that looks like. Even for you and Adina with the ultimate impact. I know that we had conversations early on with that program, and it's the same thing. What did it look like to put that together? What is the pricing structure going to be? What's the infrastructure that it's going to run on? For some reason, Holy Spirit just shows me like that, and I get the blueprint. So sometimes it's actually more difficult to walk people through their mindset shift to be able to see what I see, the brilliance in them.
That's good. Yeah, you're going to have to be hiring people, or you may need a few volunteers to help you get things off launched in the beginning. But yeah, we've, as I said before, we've really seriously appreciated your input for us and with Kingdom Talks and with the Ultimate Impact. The Ultimate Impact is our heart. Right. I don't see Kingdom Talks Media going anywhere in terms of it's not going to go away. It's going to continue to grow. I just know that's going to happen. And yet at the same time, my wife and I, our heart is centered around Ultimate Impact, because it's that bridge and it's that foundation that helps people move into this movement of walking in the heavens, which is just absolutely freeing. I mean, the testimonies, we've got now hundreds of testimonies from people that have been set free from that program, and yet it's still virtually unknown, and so we got to do more work to get that out there.
And how it's funny how you never despise small beginnings, because remember when you and Adina were sitting in a Rayleigh's little coffee shop, penciling out what this Ultimate Impact is going to look like, and it's going to be 7 series. Okay, so we got 1 and 2. Oh wait, we have to go back and do 1 and 2 again. Wait, because God kept giving you more and more revelation, and we had to keep doing it. Like, this is so cool, but it's like, so much work.
We had a lot of do-overs.
Exactly, but you guys are doing awesome. Are you into 4 yet?
No, we just finished 3. And just so everybody knows, I mean, this was our second time through filming the entire Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3, which each one of them has, you could probably do 5 times 7, 35. So each series has, close to 100 in it, right? Did I do that right?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And we did them over almost immediately after we did them the first time. So, it's been a lot of work. And yes, there will be a Series 4, but we're actually probably going to go back and redo Series 2 before we go to Series 4. Again, because of the downloads.
Exactly.
Keeping it relevant.
It doesn't stop teaching us, right?
Yeah. But at some point, we got to figure out how to not redo them over and over.
We might have to figure out some sort of a supplement system.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yes, you guys do need to move forward, because I remember that we had 7 all lined out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the original was, it's going to take a year to get through, and yada yada, and but it's an awesome series, and I just want to honor you guys with all of that time, and you put it together, and it's really done professionally, and now you have a whole studio. I mean, it was professionally even before you had a studio. So you guys are doing great. And anybody who hasn't gone through the Ultimate Impact, it's very, very foundational. I've been through it multiple times, just because I wanted to go through the iterations with them, and I wanted to lead the groups and all of those things.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit more knowledge, but I can tell you that when the first time you go through, you'll just be wowed at, oh, this makes so much sense. It's like you read the Bible in a new way. I'm like, this has been there all my life, and I've never seen it this way.
Mm-hmm.
The way that Gil and Adina put that together is just phenomenal, and it will absolutely rock your socks off. So it's in a good way, very good way.
Yeah. And then I can't, everybody I've talked to that has gone through it even a second or third time, they always are saying how much more they're getting out of it, because once you get through it, you're at a whole different level, and then you go through it again, and you're realizing that the stuff that we were teaching, you can kind of see it in multiple levels, and all of a sudden a whole new world is opening up, and that's what people are getting excited about, because it's been just setting people free to walk in who they truly are, and to learn how to be the ecclesia, and it's just empowering.
Right. I've learned a lot along the way, and it says in Proverbs, I just read this today, that when you find wisdom, buy it, invest in it. And I can tell you that when I came out of corporate and I just did some soul searching, okay, God, what do you want me to do? I had to invest in retooling myself, in coaches, in mentorships, in programs, in all of that, to retrain myself to take what was inherently in me, what I absolutely loved about being an architect and a project management and a manager for some of the largest corporations in the U.S., managing multi-million-dollar. What was those pieces that I could take and bring into my business now, and learning the language of entrepreneurship, because and especially if you're coming into online stuff, there's so much to learn.
Yeah. I'm
not even an expert in any of it. I know enough to be dangerous, but I know enough to hire well. So that's good. But I just want to encourage anyone who is considering a transition, or it's such a time of shifting, that I hear so many people wanting to start a business, or wanting to be seeing what's happening in the corporate world, or in the government, or in their 9-to-5 or whatever, and they want to be more in control of their financial future, and more in control of shaping their expression of God in the marketplace exactly how God created them to be. And so therefore it might not necessarily, they might not put on a hat that says I'm now a business owner or I'm an entrepreneur, but they have this calling to shape something in a way that feels more authentic and genuine to them. And so by learning that those principles of business, they will come into that entrepreneurship or, creation of a business just slowly, because God's calling them. And I think that it's time. The time is shifting now, when we need to be very flexible. And you just saw this with, you just moved, right? I'm going to be moving soon. I'm not going to have this studio for too much longer. So we have to be flexible, and we can take our skills and our brilliance and our expertise wherever we go. Yeah. It's not tied to a brick and mortar necessarily, right? So we have to be nimble in what God is doing and where he's calling us to be salt and light. And, where in the world, it could be anywhere. With the technology, we can work from anywhere.
Yeah. And I know that there's people that you have been looking for, we've been looking for, and we found some of them to help us with video editing. And it's like we need a social media expert to step in and help get all this stuff out there, because
Right.
That's my heart. I'm a strong marketer, and I just evangelist. When I was in the system, it was like I was an evangelist. Had to get the word out, and that's still where I'm at. I want to get the word out. I want to see as many people set free as possible. So we're looking for that social media expert that wants to come alongside and partner with us. And I know that once we get a few people in line, that we want to help others. I mean, we can partner with you, and there's others that are coming on board. Joyland here, Larry McKnight is a great teacher, and he's got already some great videos put together. So we're looking forward to getting those out. There's just so much going on and so much happening that there's a lot of people who are standing on the sidelines looking in at the game, knowing that they've got a piece and they've got some game in them too, and they would love to be in the game, but they don't know how to get started. And that's again where they can reach out to you, and you can help them, lead them down that path to get them up and running. Because there's a lot of gold and a lot of people that haven't stepped up yet because the enemy's convinced them that they don't have anything. And that's
Yes.
Yeah.
And that breaks my heart when people don't see their own value or what they could bring. You really only have to be a step or two ahead of someone else in order to reach back and hold and help them, pull them forward.
Yeah.
You don't have to be miles ahead.
Right.
I just want to encourage anyone who's thinking about, just being a coach or being a mentor or sharing your wisdom or something. Just do it. There are people on the other side of ourselves, getting over ourselves, that need to hear what we have to say.
It's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. There was something else I was just gonna mention. What was that? Oh, I know. When you were talking about calling in a team, yes, I've been praying for a team for quite a long time. If there are, people in college or something that want experience, that would be really cool to be able to bring them on board, because a lot of those people have a lot of tech skills.
Yeah.
Everything revolves around tech now. Even getting this show out. I'm looking at the studio and the lights and the camera and the, everything all around me, and I'm sure you are too. Like, somebody's got to deal with all of this stuff, and then somebody's got to deal with the digital part of it too.
Yeah.
And we're Spirit-Centered Business is also on the Fringe Radio Network now. I have a podcast, and it's going to be releasing 2 weeks. So when I release it on Kingdom Talks Media in video form, 2 weeks later, it will be available in MP3 as the podcast form. So, and we started that cycle, and so we're syndicated on iHeartRadio and iTunes and Spotify and Castbox and Deezer, Spreaker, through the Fringe Radio Network. And so I just want to give a shout out to Johnny McMahon and Johnny Iron, and Michael Basham for that. Thank you so much for letting us use that platform. But here's another thing too: we need to get the Kingdom Talks shows out there. So we need someone to come alongside and help us with that, Yeah. It's like it's never ending. So we are calling in the troops.
we need lots of help. And it's coming. I mean, moving here, or at least I've got tech people that can help me with things that I couldn't do before. And it's been awesome. And I spent all day, let's see, 2 days ago, totally tore down the studio that we built here. And rebuilt it so that it's mobile within the building, so we can move this whole camera and light sets and everything. It's on a cart now, so we can move it throughout the building, because there's going to be other things coming up. We've got conferences coming up, and our whole intent is to be the leader in online conferences. So that's a whole new thing that is coming up. So again, we need people who are interested in this, and if you got tech skills, reach out to us, because we can certainly put you to work, and you get to be part of something that I honestly believe in. And it's not an arrogant statement, but I just believe that God is using Kingdom Talks to get the word out to multiple people on multiple subjects. And the heart of it is love, honor, and respect. So it's not, it's not about picking one person and saying this is the way, you got to follow that one person, they got all the answers. No, it's understanding that we each carry a piece of the puzzle, and that is not just in the ministry or in the religious, realm, but it's in, government, it's in family, it's in education, it's in business, multiple places that we're looking to give people exposure so that the billions of people that are out there have different people that they can choose from. And it's all about, you need to know what resonates with you, what is resonating in your spirit, who do you connect with, and be able to go that direction. So that's important to us. So
Right. There's that spark of awakening that needs to happen. And then with Kingdom Talks, there's the bridge that you need to show people that it's safe and approved. First of all, because it's kind of, some coming out of the church age, we were told that it's not safe,
right?
It's not approved, and then there has to be some sort of a protocol of, okay, how do we step into the heavens? How do we open ourselves to the new thing that God is doing safely? Watching the gates and the doors, and also, again, Ultimate Impact will teach you how to do that. And then thirdly, what to expect once you do that, because you don't want to get freaked out in your first try, which I've gotten freaked out, and you've been with me a couple times, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm seeing right now, but this isn't right. I got to back out, So
yeah, well, that's why it's important, in Ultimate Impact, we encourage people to do it in groups.
Yes.
Yeah, it's important. You have that community.
Exactly.
Community is important to God. Relationship is important to God. So why would we want to try to Lone Ranger some of this stuff? We're all pioneering a lot of this. So need to not do it alone, but in community.
Right. I love the fact that you have a vision for not only being a 24/7 media network, but also to be a conference, host of conferences. And I'm doing my first cruise retreat. I'm so excited. Woo,
so tell us about it. Tell us about it. I don't know that have you shared it yet anywhere online?
I have not shared it yet. I have not. This is the very first. This is the launch.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So I don't even have a lot of details other than the date is September 12th through the 19th. It'll be that week. It'll either the 12th or the 13th and end on the 19th or the 20th, whichever way the very specific cruise is. And Lindy Strong is on board with me, and we're working on another person that I'm so excited about. And that's all I'm going to say, other than it'll be healing our mindset and our emotional triggers that keep us out of wisdom, because we need wisdom in our business. And anything that's keeping you away from wisdom is typically tied to a heart issue, which is tied to a wounding. And so once we get that cleaned up, we can get our better mindset so that we can do our business better and show up the way God created us to show up in the marketplace. So it's going to be all around that. We don't even have a sexy title for it yet. So newer than new.
Where's the cruise going to be at? Do you know anything about that?
Yes.
This is an Alaskan cruise where we all freeze together, or is it
it's the
Bahamas?
I don't do cold.
So Colorado Springs isn't in your scroll then, huh?
I think as soon as you guys move to a tropical place, I'm going to move there with you. I might visit Colorado Springs. Yeah, no, I grew up in Wisconsin. I totally get cold, and I know that I don't like it. Yeah. So it's the Caribbean. My pillow keeps going around here. Yeah, no, the cruise will be in the Caribbean, and it's going to be very much a workcation. Definitely, it'll be a retreat where there's a lot of time to just process, have fun. We're going to have activities. It'll be a lot of fun. A lot of transformation and implementation.
Sounds really good. So, when do you think you'll have the details ready for people to start signing up?
Well, it's got to be in the next 2 weeks. I'm kind of under the gun now as far as time pressure. Right. So definitely
by the end of the month.
Middle of February.
By the middle of February, okay.
Yeah, we've got to start rolling on it because if people are making payments, you know how cruise lines are, you've got to get the last one in 3 months before, and you know, there's just a lot of stuff, so we've got to get going.
And I know this has been a dream of yours for quite a while. You from like day one said that you know we'd have these webinars, and then we'd go to the workshops, and then the hotel, and then eventually onto the cruise, which was your ultimate thing. So it sounds like you're kind of jumping just to the cruise.
I know. God is so funny, but you know, he gave that to me in the Robert Henderson conference when we were first learning about the courts of heaven. You know, it was Faisal Malik who said, how do you shift culture? You buy it. And I just said, I was working the conference from the sound booth. You remember at the Rocker Roseville. I was up in and I'm like, oh, Lord, so what do you want me to buy? And he said, cruise ship. I'm like, I'm going to buy a cruise ship, am I? And then I heard cruise line. Like, okay, well, I'm stretching for cruise ship. So let's just start with that.
That's good. That's good. All right, so we got about 10 more minutes or so. What else would you like to share about spirit-centered business that people need to know so that they can be headed your direction? Anything else?
Well, I haven't really talked too much about the activation group, which a lot of your audience might really enjoy. We've been running with just a handful of us for several months now, and we call them the founders, but I'm going to be opening up other groups, you know, at different time frames. We'll be doing the same thing, but in different time frames, so that we can really develop a community like the ecclesia that you're developing with Ultimate Impact. Yeah. And we have had just some amazing coincidences by going up into the heavenly realms and seeing what Father has for us as far as strategy and doing things with our business and meeting beings who can help us in our business. And let me just share something that I have not shared on Kingdom Talks yet. I know I've shared a couple other different stories. I have not shared this one. And this was actually with a client, just full disclaimer, this wasn't in the activation group, that this could very much happen because this is what we do. I saw my client kneeling on a pillow and she had her hands out like this in front of the throne. And she had been waiting her, hold on, I'm checking into Holy Spirit to see what I can say here. Okay, let me just be really general. She had a family member who was missing. And when she had her hands out like this in the spirit, in front of the throne, in the natural, she got a phone call that said that family member was okay.
You know, I can't tell you how many times we have had things like that. I mean, I'll be general as well, but we were doing a court case with somebody. And that this person was, one of their requests at the time was that they would get more clients, higher end clients, and that was it. So he wanted better clients and he wanted more referrals. That's what he was asking for, and we end the court session, the heavenly court session. He picks up his phone and there's a text from his best client giving him a referral. So that is just one of many circumstances where people walked out and called us later and says, hey, while we were in the session, this happened. And it was a direct answer to the court sessions that we were going through or the heavenly encounter. So it is absolutely real. And we just need to be stepping into it further and further, and just know that sometimes you'll encounter things that you don't necessarily understand at the moment, and maybe you won't understand it for weeks, months, years later. But it is real stuff happening. So you're doing that with business people, and you're getting results right there in your encounters.
We not only in the encounter, I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that go on outside of the encounter. I don't think Janet would mind me sharing, because it's an amazing story. Janet is one of our members from the UK.
I remember Janet.
From Yorkshire, right?
Yeah.
Well, we had been legislating or asking Father for her for various things, but she now has a new job. She moved to South Africa. She's working with a company who has contracts in Zimbabwe, and her citizenship papers went through like that.
Wow.
It's like unheard of.
Come on. Yeah, awesome.
And we had seen show what we had seen in the spirit was the angels were smoothing this tablecloth across our conference table, and we really felt that there was just going to be a smoothing and an ease of what was going on. And sure enough, and also we were told to embrace, I think it was the word embrace, favor. And the being of favor literally walked into the conference table. It's like it was, and it's like it was, that's how much we're supposed to embrace favor. Like we're supposed to take it into us. So like, okay. So we just have really such amazing times. And just so that everyone knows, we meet on two times a month. The current group meets on first and third Thursdays. So 2 times a month, and that you can also see on spiritcenteredbusiness.com and click on the membership button there, and you can join the activation group. So.
Wow. So good. All right. Well,
so good, right?
Yeah. Thanks to Lily Weeks, I now have a cup that expresses it, so I don't have to say it as much anymore. I can just hold my cup up.
Right.
But I do want to just honor you and bless you and thank you for everything that you've done for Kingdom Talks, Ultimate Impact, Kingdom Equipping Center. You have done a lot. You've been there for us. And, I just say kind of look at where we're at now. We've got a long ways to go yet, but we have come a long ways as well. And it's just been a super, super blessing. And you've been a strong backbone to help us move things forward, and really want to just bless you and honor you for that.
Well, I do. You and Adina have been like my longest standing clients. Like, I don't know how many years even. I lost count, but yeah. So I appreciate you guys too.
It's been a long road, and we didn't even talk about stuff you did for Meditate on Me to help in the direction of that with Adina's meditation on. So meditateonme.com if you want to go check that out. Adina's been working on that for 4 or 5 years, and a lot of great guided meditations on there for Christians. Good stuff.
Yeah, and we have also the conference recordings, we call them courses now. I see the sunlight is getting me. Oh well, that's okay.
Little halo, there you go.
I have,
Half
this
halo.
is my spirit-centered business look. So the conference recordings are on there too, and we worked hard to put all of those together, and Gil and Adina did awesome, and all of the people, I think we've got some by Chris Carter, some by Terry Spencer, Mike Parsons, Nancy Cohen. Oh wow, now I'm really getting
you're really
getting the spirit light going here. I'll have to go close it for our members only section.
Yeah, so all right, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up then, and that way we can close that. It looks like you got some, the dimensions. You're about to just shift right out. Anyway.
Right, before I fade away into the next round.
Well, I just want to say thank you to all of our listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you are interested in partnering with Kingdom Talks and to help move this forward, as I mentioned, we have a lot more to go. Dreaming that we can take this to a 24/7. Obviously, that's a lot of work and a lot of funding that needs to take place, and you can help out. You can partner with us by going to kingdomtalksmedia.com, right above me there, and look for the partnership area. And we would just love to have any of you partner with us by, financially you can partner with us, or you can call us up or contact us and let us know that you have some skills that we might be able to engage with. Obviously, we can't bring everybody on because we've got to, make sure that we have a good fit and some people have some great skills, but they're not quite what we're looking for. But we are all moving forward together, and we just are thankful for each and every one of you. So if you want to catch the behind the scenes, we do have that for our partners. That is just for our partners, that they get to check out the behind the scenes stuff. So we usually spend anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes or 30 minutes sometimes. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, let me just plug what we're going to be doing behind the scenes. I'm going to teach my content Kickstarter for anyone who does want to get started with their wisdom-based business.
There you go.
I'm going to teach that in your
behind the scenes for the partners. All right. Very good. Love you all. Thank you, Bralynn. Thank you for being on here. Thank you for everything you've done. And thank you for being the first show, Spirit-Centered Business on Kingdom Talks.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Spirit-Centered Business with Bralynn Newby. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. The next stage of doing business by being spirit-centered is coming together in collaboration, working with spiritual principles and knowing our destiny. Join our tribe at spiritcenteredbusiness.com, and we'll catch you on the next broadcast. Peace out.